Hey guys, I have a quick video that I think might be helpful for some of y'all. I know for students that have specific RTI needs, a lot of you use different forms, and I know one of the things that was recommended was setting up a Google form and then using something called roll call. But if you've tried that this year, roll call apparently does not work. So I'm showing you this video that is just a quick formula you can add to Google form so that you can make a separate tab for each kid. So it's pretty quick. So you start with a blank form, and if you already have a form, you can do this to one you already have, but I'm just starting from scratch. I'm going to name it RTI check-in. You could use this for other things, really anything that you wanted to have a big list of data and pull it into separate lists, you could use this for. So this is what we'll use for this one, but you could do a lot of other things with it. So all we have to have is name. You'll notice it changes to short answer. That's great. I want to make it required. One note right here, if you want them to have another piece of input, maybe what they worked on or something like that, 100% you can add that. So you could make another question and say, something like, what did you work on? And you could make it multiple choice and say, math and reading or whatever. Or you could make it something where they're going to put, I worked on whatever. For now, though, we'll leave it as a name. So you can add things. You don't have to. I will say if you just want a place to add your own notes, like he did well today, you don't have to do that on the form. You can do that on the data sheet. So we're going to say this is done. I'm going to go to the preview spot because that's where I can actually fill out some. So I'm going to put myself, and then I'm going to submit another. I want Mike. And then I want to show you one other thing. I'm going to put a space after Mike's name because sometimes kids will accidentally put a space, and so I can do that. I can show you how to address that. Okay, so I've got responses. I want to create a spreadsheet from the responses. I can rename it here, or I can rename it once it opens. I'm going to show you some of the things you can do. So I've got it named here. I've got the two things the form pulled. Here is where I'm going to add. So I want a score, I want notes, and I want next steps. This is where, again, you can add whatever you want. So all they would fill out is their name, and then you could come in after the fact and add those other things. The next step I've got to make sure I do is where it says form responses. I want to rename it. I'm going to call it master. The only thing you have to make sure is just make sure when you're typing the formula in a second that it's exact. So if I put a capital here for M, then my formula has to have a capital M as well. A lowercase won't actually work. So all I do from there, I'm going to add a sheet, and I'm actually going to copy my my top row, and then here I want to paste, and I'm going to click duplicate. So each of these has that, and then this first one is Zach, this second one is Mike, and then I want to show you this one will be score. So in my master I've got my data, and then my formula very quick is equals filter parentheses master exclamation point, and I want A through E because I want all of those columns. You could do more. If I had stuff all the way to here, do through H. If I only had 3 columns, I could do A through C, comma space, master, exclamation point. Here I'm telling it what to look at. So it's looking at B:B, and it's looking for specifically quotation marks, Zach, quotation marks, parentheses. So now it just pulled everything. So because I told it to look in column B on the master sheet for the name Zach, that's what it pulled. You'll notice there's nothing here. That's because over here on the master, there's nothing there. Now I'm going to put a score. Let's say he got 13 out of 15. Let's say he did well. Let's say read, bunny story. I don't know, whatever. Now you'll see Zach over here. All those things are there. And so then I just need to copy that formula. So I've got the formula here. Copy it. I'm going to come to Mike's and paste it and just change where it says Zach. I'll put Mike. So there it is. Now you'll notice that there's 2, but on Mike's page there's only 1. It's because that's space. So here's Mike. There's a space. I get rid of the space, and now Mike has his 2 things. First time he did a 13 out of 15, and then this next time he did actually a 15 out of 15. Okay, so there I see Mike's things. So that's all it is, just that quick formula. Again, the formula is equals, filter, parentheses, and then whatever the name of the tab is. And then again, A through E is telling it to pull all the way from here to here. And then master B is telling it to look specifically right there. And if it matches whatever my thing is, in this case, Zach. You can also do this same thing with other columns. So I can do that. Now instead of names, I want to pull C, and I want to pull everyone who got 13 out of 15. Make sure you have those quotation marks. Sometimes they're deleting out a new one. So it can pull scores. I could tell it to look for. Notes. Sorry. Notes are D, and I could tell it to look for anyone that I wrote did well. And so it'll pull that. So you can use any cell really that you want. And that's that quick formula is all you have to do. Again, other thoughts, you could use this if you had like a book club type thing where kids are reading different books, but some are reading the same. You could have a sheet that they put what they're reading, and then a tab for each different title they may read, something like that. So lots of thoughts. If that's helpful, then great. If not, then hopefully you didn't watch the whole thing. I'm happy to come and help if you want me to set this up with you, or need help figuring out the formula, or need help thinking of the way to do it most effectively. But thought this might be a helpful video so you could kind of see how that would work, and might be able to help you with your students, whether for RTI time or anything else. Thanks.